All right, Alyssa, let's start by looking at your Emily format. Your page numbers, and this looks good. Sides should be fine because it's already automatically there. Title's good, spacing is good. What I actually like about your title is it's very simple, it's to the point, and says everything we need to the reader is, depression is rising, why is that? And it says everything it's going to be about. As we go through this, I'm not seeing any in-text citations, but I know you've got some things that you explain what the source is ahead of time, so that'll be okay. And then the works cited. So let's talk about this for a second. This needs to be its own page. Otherwise, this would be okay. This right here, I'm going to pull that up. You do not have the article title, which you need that. And with your titles, they have to be in quotation marks. So this should be Whitbourne, Krauss, Susan. And actually, I don't know if this is the same person. Yeah, so this is hard without knowing exactly what it is. I think Krauss is her middle name. So what this needs to be instead is this should be Whitbourne, comma, Susan Krauss. You need the comma between the last name and the first name. Same thing up here. You need a comma there. And then this is her article title, and that needs to be within quotation marks. And I know you put something here. This needs to be indented, but it's doing the first instead. And I saw this in class. I don't know if you were there when we did it, but for that one, I don't know if that's why you made a hyperlink, which will be fine, but I had told everyone it's fine if it screws up the formatting. Just let the link be its whatever. I understand. So that's not an issue. But right away, Alyssa, I noticed that you needed 5 sources, and I'm only seeing 3. So be aware of that. Your citations aren't technically all correct, so make sure you revisit my handouts as well as Purdue OWL. You've got an awkward spacing here. I'm a little bit concerned that you're using... contextually, if this is from 96 about how it was used in the 90s, that's okay. My problem is this is an abstract. Oh, nope, I see it. It's at the top. I just can't pull it up with my screen recorder. So this is from 96. I couldn't see that because my screen recorder got in the way. So be aware of that. So, Emily format, it's your works cited that needs the help with it. So make sure you revisit those sources, especially if you do a rewrite. And whoops, I did miss something, which looked correct earlier. So it's correct here. This is what you did. You shouldn't say different first page. You need to uncheck that because now, even though your numbers continue, it puts the rest of it in Arial. So you need to fix that. So as we look at your introduction, I'm going to read this one out loud. And I always say that to really know how to be a good writer and catch your mistakes, you need to read things out loud. And as silly as it sounds, y'all need to do it. So, anxiety and depression have risen in adolescence in the past 20 years. The reasoning is unknown to many adults, and for the adolescents, it's hard to explain or demonstrate. I think that's actually a really powerful sentence, because it puts people in the position of the adolescents, and, it's very hard to explain of what's... I just think it's powerful. So while expectations rising in school or on social media may be the leading reasons, there are other factors that go in the issue, and then you basically the same thing. Increase is mainly caused by school and social media, and just basic social pressure. So you only need one, not the other. And if you're going to say there are other factors, tell us what it is, so we can kind of expect it. Well, I guess you don't have to, so never mind. Being a teenager has been hard, especially since the beginning of time. With all the advances in technology, it is not making it any easier. So what you need to retweak and think about here is say more explicitly. Let me start with here. Essentially, since the beginning of time. This is one of the weakest things that you can do in a paper for an intro. And it's very hard contextually. Being a teenager has always been hard, especially since the beginning of time. And the reason it's weak is because it's totally a different context and world we live in. And in the nicest way possible. In the beginning of time, it was more common for people your age to probably have 2 children already, which is very different than the world that we currently live in. So that's why those sort of things don't always work. And, things shift over time, and different cultural experiences make this a hard thing. So whenever you have something that's like, since the beginning of time, just get rid of it. It's not a good writing practice. But I think you could use also some more explanation of be specific that technology makes it harder or increases depression and anxiety. So when we move on to your next paragraph, Alyssa, you've got being a teenager comes with emotional turmoil. And I think it's a good thing to talk about the emotional changes that a teenager goes through and what they can go through. My problem is this right here can be pretty universal. This isn't specific to teenagers, but it can be. So think about what you're doing there. And then you have school demands a lot out of teenagers today. So this is where, so maybe we'll retweak some of that. But the emotional turmoil is a good thing, but you need to make it as specific to teenagers as possible. So right here, let's have a quick little talk right here from Stephanie Villanueva. So let me pause for a second. So the thing with this one is, I'm sure this is not a real person and you're either using a pseudonym for yourself or another person. But I want to address this a little bit. So when we talk about writing an essay, students in school have always had extracurriculars. They've always procrastinated, and they've always dealt with things. So this doesn't quite work with what's going on because it doesn't show anything about its rising. How has it changed from then until now? And then if we look at this right here, this quote demonstrates that there are multiple factors that go into depression and anxiety. So, I mean, that's true, but here's the problem. It's one person's quote, which doesn't quite work to prove, here's what this one person is feeling, so now it's true for everyone else. It doesn't work that way. You need specific, more evidence for it, for what is going on. And just in case this is about you, I just want to say, as I go through, because I know I gave you work time, and if I look at the 24th through the 27th, I do not see much of class time used on it, and even until the 29th. So, the reason I pull that up, I have to go back here, and this is true for a lot of you writing this, and that's not to call anyone out in particular, but just in case that's what it is. These are true details, which procrastination could be a problem. But you need to look at some more research and evidence-based things of what is going on. And the reason I pulled it up is I see some really good things you have, Alyssa, and your language and style is pretty decent. It's just, I think if you spent more in-class time on this would have been developed a little bit more. And the reason I do that is because I have a feeling, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I don't think that's from a Stephanie, I think that is from an Alyssa. But maybe I am wrong. So, as we move on, social media has a role in rising teen depression. We're getting into how it's rising. What you need to do with the article title, you need to put these in quotation marks. And the thing that, this is weird, I don't know if this is your language, if this is you saying Mimosa states, then you need to have the quotation mark state here. If they're aware of the curated nature of many online platforms, they feel like blah, 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 blah. Nope, I lied. Okay. This is where we need context here. This is very confusing because you have the quote first and then you have this is who it's referring to. So maybe say, as Mimosa states, I don't know, you'd have to retweak it a few different ways. So maybe say, Geigen Mimosa's article, The FOMO is Real, How Social Media Increases Depression and Loneliness. Mimosa states that his professor from the University of Michigan would tell his class and then get into the quote. because that would be better. And I think this is a really good quote to what you put on here. Teens are comparing themselves, but I think you need to take this a little bit further, because the comparison is a really, 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 really strong topic that you start in, and have more about how that is causing to the rise. Because a lot of what I've learned from reading your essays is you're putting these really good things in your essays, but you're not taking it further. This is such an important thing, and I never want you to be like, well, social media didn't exist back then, but there's so much research. It's like we can see people quicker. We compare ourselves quicker. Social media acts as a medium in which we do this. Now, this is where your style and language gets a little bit weird. A specific breed of social media influencers are called flexers. So I have a concern with how you use breed, because you basically put it that these people are inferior to you, even if they act superior. And I don't think breed is the right word you want to use. Maybe a specific ilk or a specific group of social media influencers. And I think all of this needs to be something else, because you talk about online influencers. So you can even say something like, with a topic sentence, online influencers skew the perception of what it means to be a teenager. Because this is pretty good. I would say you may need some evidence and research to back yourself up, because this is very anecdotal. So be aware of that. Oh, there we go. We got a contraction. Get rid of that as well. Other than that, I don't think I've noticed many grammar errors, which is pretty good so far. And then we get into self-worth and self-esteem, which I think is a fundamental good paragraph to have. I might talk more of a topic sentence about how self-worth and self-esteem impact anxiety and depression as your topic sentence, and then get into what it means, what the definition of it, and how they are the same themes. Right here you need a comma, because you're saying she stated, and typically for these you need to say states. You need it to be in present tense, not past tense. So clinicians use low self-esteem as one possible symptom. They diagnose a psychiatric condition, blah blah blah. So I think this is a good explanation. Maybe get rid of so, because there are better transitions than to use the word so. So just say, if clinicians use low self-esteem as a symptom, then it's obvious the two go hand in hand. Well, it doesn't quite explain self-esteem compared to self-worth. So think about, be more clear with how it relates to her quote there. And then right here, this is good, but the problem is you have the vulnerability model is an actual model that you need to explain a little bit more. And this is all about self-esteem, but not necessarily self-worth. So first, oh no, I see it right there. So maybe just spend some time as the sense of self as the self-worth. I think you just need to be more explicit with how they're both seen in your paper. Okay, and as we go into your next paragraph, I'm going to be honest, Alyssa, you need some research to really back yourself up with this one. And maybe it's out there, maybe you did find an article, but I have a hard time believing this unless I see an article. And this is not a matter of I agree with you or I disagree with you. It's a matter of you're saying claims that are not common knowledge, and need some evidence to back up, because what you're saying here is music causes depression. And I will tell you, honestly, I don't know if I believe that. And this is some common arguments I see over time, even for my generation. And I don't think you're wrong that it's romanticized, but you go from the 1990s, it's not common. And then you have a typo here. They were being made, not mad. So they were commonly prescribed. I don't know if that's true as well. And you haven't really said fewer teens had depression back then, because you haven't really proved that with any statistics it's less. So as we move into your conclusion with the little time I have, self-diagnosed, could be wrong, they joke about it, then there's only depression in the world, then depression, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so overall, your conclusion doesn't really talk about what you talked about in your paper. And as I go through what you have, Alyssa, you have some decent ideas. Your language and style is okay, but you need to retweak some things I looked at And I would suggest doing a rewrite and letting me know if you need help, because I heard that you think it's an unfair advantage if I don't help you. I am literally here to help you. But your biggest thing is you're going to have to incorporate research and evidence and really take the time to structure your paper.